guys, Susan Edwards of Ford's Career Services, and today I wanted to talk about behavioral interview questions. And I wanted to give you a few examples of some behavioral interview questions that you might hear in your next interview or be asked in your next job interview, and give you some possible tips on how you can answer those questions. The first question is, tell me about a time you made a mistake at work and how did you handle it? Or how did you react? A great answer or an easy way to answer this question is to be honest and think back to a specific example of a time when you honestly made a mistake and someone called you out for it. Don't think of a time when you made a mistake and no one ever knew about it. You want to talk about a time when someone else did notice your mistake, whether it was your supervisor or a coworker, and how was it brought to your attention, and how did you learn from it, and what did you do, what behaviors did you change, or what tactics, or did you have to change any of your daily tasks in order for you to learn from that particular mistake. So that's how you should answer that question. The next question is, tell me about a problem you had to solve where you did not have all the information you needed. Again, think back to a specific time where you had to figure out a problem and you needed some data or some questions answered and you didn't have the information and you didn't know where to get the information. Think back and try to think of these questions ahead of time and think of some specific scenarios from previous job experiences, or even if in class experiences, if you had to work on a group project or even an individual project and you had to use outside sources to get the information that you needed. How did you learn from that experience? And use that in your answer to this question. The third question I have for you is, tell me about a time when you disagreed with a coworker on an idea or a project, and how did you handle it? And what was the disagreement about? This is going to tell the interviewer about how you are as a team player and if you have the ability to work well with others. And this could also potentially tell your leadership style and whether or not you took the lead on this or the other person took the lead on this and you were more of a follower in this particular situation. The fourth question, tell me a piece of constructive feedback that one of your previous supervisors or managers has ever given you. This is great because what the interviewer is looking for is, what has a previous mentor or supervisor seen that some of your challenges may have been that they might also have with you as well? So think back to maybe a performance review that you received, or even a short 90-day review that you might have received. Think back to maybe a coworker that's given you some constructive feedback. Anything like that. Any of those examples would be great. And think about what you learned. Think about how it impacted you and use that in your answer and how you've grown from that specific feedback that you received. The final question is, tell me about a time you worked hard on a project that ended up being scrapped. How did you respond to that? And this is going to tell the interviewer how you handle change and adversity. And oftentimes we see this, especially this year, 2020, the year of change, COVID and the pandemic, and having to bend and flex as much as we have. Are you able to bend and flex as needed and put a lot of work into something just to see it not come to fruition and be okay with that? That's what the purpose of this question is, to find out how you handle that. So I hope you have enjoyed these behavioral interview questions. These types of questions typically come in a little bit more advanced interviews. So maybe management positions or senior management positions, executive level positions, or if you're in multiple interviews for a particular position. So let's say you've already had a pre-screened interview and you're going for a second interview or a third interview. That's when you might see some of these behavioral interview type questions. So if you'd like to see more of these types of questions, feel free to drop me a comment below and let me know. I'd be happy to do a few more videos like this and give you a few more examples. Hopefully you find these informational and learn a lot. And if you'd like to work with me, be sure to check me out on the web at fordscareerservices.com, or you can check me out on Facebook at Ford's Career Services. I hope you really found this helpful, and I wish you the best of luck in your job search.